Fire it up. Fire it up.
So top 5 horror movies of 2015 coming in hot and sexy and dripping wet. Are we ready to go ahead and open the curtain and let these people enjoy the show? I think so. So here we go. At number 5 for me, and again, I already said this, it tied number 5, but it's not going to make the list. And this is going to seem incredibly low, but I have to put it there. Bone Tomahawk is my number 5 for the top movies of 2015 that is horror. Bone Tomahawk, I've always had a soft spot for Western films, especially horrific, like horror, basically. And there's not a lot of them. But this one, with Kurt, I mean, it's got fucking Kurt Russell in it, dude. And there's something about this movie, it's disturbing. It is a very, very disturbing fucking movie. It's not true. They are very scary, and it feels like the Troglodytes could have existed, or at least something like them could have existed in this time frame, where they're cannibalistic Native American tribe that they pick off on the villages or settlers that were moving out west. I thought it was a very fucked up movie. It's slow. It takes a little time to get going. And it does. There are parts of it that it feels like Kurt Russell's like he's just like, he does, because Kurt Russell's done horror movies before. Obviously, he's done The Thing, so he's used to this kind of level of weirdness. But it almost feels like sometimes he's not, like he doesn't want to be in it. Like, not that he's not doing a great job, but it just feels like he's not blending well. I don't know what it is. It just feels like he's such a great actor. So why are you down here fucking wasting time with these assholes? But dude, the ending of this movie, when he sees the women and what they do to the women, god damn, dude. God, wow. So you took the risk and you found the friend, and now you're walking away a millionaire. Yeah, dude. It's number 5 for me, Bone Tomahawk.
Excellent choice, I must say. Also,
yes,
I'm gay. That's what I was gonna go with. You don't even know me at all. Who the fuck are you even?
I'm not trying to insult you.
God damn it!
Shut your fucking mouth and pick it.
Shit! Fuck! Fart! My number 5 is gonna be The Blackcoats Daughter. That bitch. Directed by Oz Perkins, the son of Anthony Perkins, the star of Psycho, who's made several horror films, and I think is going to have an amazing career as a director. Man, I remember watching this. I remember the day I watched it. Kate and I were sitting on the couch and we were just hanging out. Like, she was like, she goes, well, what's this Blackcoats Daughter? And I was like, all like high on my own shit. I was like, Kate, I've never heard of it. And if I haven't heard of it, it's definitely not good. Like, I was like, I'm not watching that shit. Blew the top off my brain. It's so slow, and it's an A24 slow burn ass film, but absolutely scared the tits off my chest. And that's hard to do because I liked IPAs at the time, and the estrogen gives you lots of, anyways, my point is this, man, it's so slow, but it's so creepy, and it just crawls inside of your soul, like the ring chick crawling out of a TV. And then when it ends, and there's this girl sitting in front of boilers, like, hail Satan, hail Satan, hail Satan. And like, there's heads sitting aaround. You're like, Jesus Christ, I don't even know what just happened, but I'm scared.
Yeah.
This movie
sounds like an employee meeting at Spencer's.
Dude, it does. And it's so like so many people I saw were like, this movie sucks. It's so slow. Nothing happens. But I'm telling you, if you go into it not suspecting anything, and by the end of it, when stuff does start to happen, it's one of those movies that just seeped into your soul, like through your pee-pee hole, and just really just fucked your mind up. Dude, Blackcoats Daughter, if you want something that has at least the chance to really scare you and fuck you up Exorcist style, I'm not saying it's The Exorcist, but if you want a movie that's going to give you those kind of deep, dark vibes in your tchotchkes, Blackcoats Daughter is underratedly, really, really has the propensity to scare you if you're in the right place.
I thought it sucked. But anyway.
Shut up!
My number 4 is going to be Circle. I like Circle a lot, dude. Like Circle Jerk, everybody loves that. That's what men do when they're on the road. But no, Circle is actually
that's what you do to the clitoris.
Yes, you circle around it, not finding it. You circle around it, not finding it. It's like in a cul-de-sac. You know where the house
Who gave
is.
Me these goddamn directions?
It's like being drunk trying to find the house in a cul-de-sac. You know the house is there, but you just can't find it because you're drunk. But no, Circle, dude, is actually a really well. I mean, it's nothing new. It's nothing groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination, but it's acted well. You get invested in the story, and it's got that sci-fi horror element that actually makes it work. And I do like the exploration of the what us as humans, where our compass is more our morality compass is, because that really is what this movie's about. And I loved it. I've actually seen this movie several times because it does have a propensity to bring you back and watch it over and over again. I don't know, like there's just something and I know this is gonna sound weird. It feels cozy. It feels like a cozy movie to watch for some fucking reason. Like I feel like there should be a fire burning and it should be winter outside and I'm watching Circle drinking some hot cocoa. But it's also a thinking cat movie too. You got to think about it. And it's actually, when you first watch the movie, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Because all these people wake up, they're in a circle, and if one of them moves off the little circle, they die. Then they have to make if they don't jerk off enough to, they only get 2 minutes. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to survive just fine. And then they have to make choices. Who's going to die first? Is it going to be the older people, the people with cancer, disabilities, little kids? How does it all play in? And then you finally find out the ending, and you're like, I think the ending was a little disappointing, to be honest. I feel like they could have done a lot more with this movie, and I would have loved a sequel. But ultimately, Circle is a good. It's a solid movie, dude. It really is. For 2015, it came out of nowhere. But again, I don't like, if you guys haven't seen this movie, don't go in expecting it to be groundbreaking. They've done movies like this before. I think they did it with Cube. Cube is kind of like Circle.
The Exam too. The Exam.
I think The Exam is way superior to Circle.
I'll be brief on this one because I know that this is a movie that probably nobody in here has seen. Like, this movie just really messed me up, man. It's a documentary / movie called The Nightmare. And it's by Rodney Asher. He's a documentary filmmaker who also made Room 237, which was a deep documentary into you watched that one, right? About The Shining. But I actually won't go back and watch it now because I'm afraid it'll actually give me nightmares. And what it's about, it's a documentary, but they kind of do that Rescue 911 thing or Unsolved Mysteries, where it's a documentary, but while he's interviewing people who have had sleep tears and sleep demons or sleep night paralysis. Night terrors. He interviews these people, but while he's interviewing about them, they reenact it. And there's these shadow demons who have, it's the black figure with the eyes, sort of like in Hell, like that.
Or in the Ghost, or in Ghost when they all come up.
Yeah, just like that, which is like the scariest thing in the world, dude.
He goes, "Oh, Carl."
That scene in Ghost is so fucked. I went to an Easter, I went to church in West Virginia with my grandma, and they were doing an Easter play, and at the end they did the fucking thing from Ghost, and these black, they were dressed in those black spandies, and they came on stage and they look like the pods from Power Rangers.
The
putties, yeah, that's the one. And they grabbed this dude and he's screaming and fucked me up.
Well, dude, what made that shit scary was in Ghost they came up slow, and they're shadows that come up off the ground, and they're like, they sound like dudes in prison having an orgasm.
Same vibe. That's what this show does. This documentary does, dude. It really messed with me. And if you have ever had sleep paralysis or know anything about it, the way they reenact it, it's just so freaky, man. And it will really just, God, it gets in my soul. It scares the fuck out of me every time I watch it. So, yes, it's a documentary. Yes, I sleep with men. Yes, it's number 4 on my list. Shut up.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
No dick at all.
Walter
What's your number
Peck.
3?
My number 3, and again, this might be, some people are like, God damn, Jay. I mean, for real, dude. Just go out outside your fucking house and watch a movie for once. Why the fuck you gotta pick something so bullshit mainstream, dude? It's gonna be Insidious 3. You can suck my dick if you don't like it. You can suck the dick. You can suck the cum right off the tip. I like it because Lin Shaye is powerful in this, and Lin Shaye is, in my opinion, what makes Insidious a good fucking movie. Don't get me wrong. I like the story of the first one with Dalton and Patrick Wilson and all that good shit. But Lin Shaye takes that shit and she puts the fucking whole series on her back. And she's the reason why I've been watching Insidious since the first one. Okay. I love Patrick Wilson. He's an excellent actor. But dude, Lin Shaye is where it's at. I love this movie, not because I think it's boring as fuck with what they do with the ghost of this one. The goddamn COPD motherfucker that couldn't put down a cigarette in life, and he still smokes that shit in death.
That's realism. Yeah.
I seen it in real life. But this goddamn tar, this tar lung infested motherfucker with emphysema skulking around looking for a young girl to hang around with. No, we're not talking about fucking the Playboy Mansion. We're talking about some ghosts. But I think Lin Shaye was cool in this because Lin Shaye is like, she's scared about trying to, it's like a prequel. It's a prequel to the Insidious movies that we know and love. But I like how it shows her beginnings, what got her motivated to go and help this girl. And you get the origin story of how she met Specs and the other dude. I just think, I don't know why I like it, dude. It kind of reminds me of it's a very low level Poltergeist movie, very low level. And I'm not saying it's on the level of Poltergeist, but it feels like that, especially Insidious 3 and Insidious 4. I enjoy them both. I really do think they were both pretty well done movies. And again, I know it's not like the scariest shit or whatever, but it was just kind of cool. I don't know. I just had a good time with them.
I appreciate that pick by you, because I like Insidious 3. Like I enjoy that movie a lot. So I'm shocked. I'm very fucking shocked that you had that high on your list, but I appreciate it. And really, I'm hoping that you'll let me touch your wiener tonight.
Yes, for sure. Okay, let's do it. All right, I'm waiting.
Yay!
Come be gay with me and Father.
Come be gay with Father and I. My number 3 is going to be The Devil's
Butt juice. That's a good one.
The Devil's
so stinky and nightmarish.
It's going to be The Devil's Candy. Starring, I'm pretty sure we reviewed. You saw this, right?
Yeah, I remember it.
Ethan Embry. And like
one.
You've never seen
really
him before. Dude from Can't Hardly Wait, dude from Empire Records shows up and you're like, oh, look, it's Ethan Embry. And this motherfucker has abs. He is ripped as shit. He's a completely different human being. And he's so good in this movie. And
he's definitely moved past the nerd guy that Jennifer Love Hewitt said, go fuck off, that met at the train station and Can't Hardly Wait.
1,000%. And this movie is so gnarly, dude. It's a metal horror movie for sure, because it's this dad and he has his wife and he has his child, and him and his child just have this connection where they both just love like heavy metal. And he's a painter, and they buy this barn in the middle, or this farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, because it's got this barn that he can do his painting in. And he's an up and coming artist. And the reason they get the house on the cheap is obviously because some fucked up shit happened there before. But meanwhile, there's this child murderer predator on the loose who's just like, he has this ringing in his head of this music, and it's just driving him crazy. And he's like murdering kids and shit like that. And it's really fucked up.
It's Scott Stapp, but in alternate reality, Scott Stapp.
It's metal Stapp.
Yeah, it's like the horror movie Scott Stapp.
But dude, the music's fucking great. The mix of horror and metal is so great. The darkness, the way that they use like the demons and the devil and like the satanic shit in this, really creepy as fuck. Well, it's interesting too, because like Mad Hatter, it's good to see you, by the way, says I feel like I was not alive during 2015 or something. That's what I was saying earlier. This year had some of the greatest under the fucking radar horror movies in the world.
My number 2 is going to be, and here's a guy you don't really hear get the props anymore. The M. Night, fuck me hard, Greg. That guy fucked everyone hard, and that guy is never disappointed. But it's going to be M. Night Shyamalan's Lick My Butt Dan. M. Night Shyamalan, do me, lick my butt Dan, please touch me, and fuck you Ray, is some of the best stuff I've ever seen in my life. Fuck your own foot and then put it in your mouth and suck your toe was one of the best movies that came out in 2015. And then not to be shadowed by Fuck You Big Riblet, which was the sequel that M. Night Shyamalan was planning on doing, but it got turned down. The Visit of My Vagina Monoma was the mountain that he named it after. By the way, if you guys are listening on podcasts or whatever, if you guys, we're sorry. So my number 2 is M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit that came out in 2015. I feel like it's an unheralded movie. I feel like it was actually one of the better films that M. Night Shyamalan had done in a long time. I feel like The Visit is actually very realistic. Like, that shit could happen. I mean, I hated the fucking rapping kid in that. I think he was one of the worst fucking characters I've ever heard since the Babadook, and that screaming bastard child that should have had fucking hot iron dropped on his fucking face and then him thrown into a well. But,
I want a kid's meal.
Yeah, that fucking rapper kid was one of the worst things I've ever seen in that movie. But otherwise, everything else in that movie was really solidly done. And it was so suspenseful because you really didn't know what was going on. And then there were just little moments of little glimpses throughout the film, like, and M. Night does a great job that you have to piece it together as a viewing member. And when you piece it together, you're like, holy fuck, these aren't even their grandparents. These are fucking they're not psychopaths. They're like escaped mental patients. And what's fucking crazy about this is like, I could literally imagine myself reading about this on the dailymail.com.
That's true.
Like little kids survive deranged mental patients that posed as their grandparents for a weekend. Like, it sounds so fucking realistic. Man, what a great fucking movie. And it's one of those movies that really absorbed you. But I feel like The Visit, I feel like it's one of those movies that once you watch it maybe once or twice, you probably won't go back and visit it again. You won't go back and visit The Visit.
Visit it. Get it? Venereal diseases. No, dude, The Visit kicks ass. Like, and that, honestly, I was so happy for M. Night when he did that, because like he was getting shit on by so many people, and then he comes out with this movie and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll finance it with myself and I'll make it cheap." And that
I hate that he felt like he needed to do, like he had to have a twist though. But he did. But I felt like his twist was natural. It felt like an actual natural evolving twist, and it wasn't like forced.
Yeah, and I agree with you, dude. The worst thing about that movie is the little girl and who's like, "I'm an artist director," and worst of all, the little boy who's like,
"So what a fucking
like the little rapping kid at the end was so good with his lisp, like, "Shut, Steven." Dad, when the grandpa shoves that fucking diaper in that kid's face, oh my god,
that was actually really satisfying. Like, at that point, the grandfather was the hero.
Oh my Christ, dude. That messed me up so bad. That was such a great
It was
scene.
nasty, but I approved the grandfather doing that.
Yeah, you deserve this. You need this. Oh fuck. I threw my mouse all around. My number 2 is gonna be Green Room.
I almost put it on my list, but it didn't make it.
So good, dude. Such a good fucking movie, man. And what I love about this movie is like there's a lot of metal movies that like mix with horror. And sometimes punk mixes with horror too, but I think Green Room does it best, because the first half of the movie, you're actually watching this group of this like hardcore, like legit punk band. And
Mike,
sometimes there's sort of
Mike, just keep talking. I'll be right back. I gotta go.
Okay,
just real quick. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna think about you holding the arena while you're gone. But like the best part about Green Room is the first half of the movie is you do get like this kind of SLC punk sort of feel. You get to watch this struggling punk band. And sometimes they're sort of annoying because they're like, this guy's a true punk because he listens to this. And sometimes they're sort of like, oh, okay, shut the fuck up, Greg. I get it. But they're struggling to live their lives. And you learn something about the characters as you go through the movie. And these people have to siphon gas to get to their next show. They're eating shitty rice and beans. Their lives suck. But it sets it up so beautifully that when they go to this Nazi punk show, because they literally have to keep their tour alive, and they witness a murder, and then all of a sudden they're trapped in this shithole fucking place in the middle of nowhere. And these guys are like, these kids, this band saw us murder someone, so we have to keep them here, and we're going to have to murder them. When you watch them go through what they're going through, you're watching people who have been through shit, that have had a hard life, that like, you know, have gone through it. So it's really interesting to watch how these like punk kids like react to this crazy situation. And then not just that, but you actually see the band play. Like, you see them play music. One of the best parts of the movies is when they go to this Nazi fucking punk place to play their music. It's like, I got a bad idea. And they decide to play Nazi punks, which, if you don't know the song, it's like Nazi punks, Nazi punks, Nazi punks. Shut the fuck. Like, it's basically the song is like fuck Nazis, and people are throwing beers at them and shit. But they end up witnessing a murder, and then lo and behold, this Nazi punk club turns out to be this basically organized crime unit ran by Patrick Stewart, of all people. Fucking Professor X is running this shit.
Yeah.
And Patrick Stewart's so goddamn good in that, dude. The way he talks to people and like grabs people by their face, and it's like, this is your fucking fault. He's so good. And like, and Anton Yelchin, man, talk about somebody who's lost too soon.
100%.
They send in dogs to kill him, and they have guns, and it turns into a haunted house almost, because like when they get out of the room, they're like, oh fuck, where are they? And they're walking around, and like Patrick Stewart is just sending dogs, and he's sending Nazis, and and it's such a fucked up. It's almost like a real life haunted house movie. It's so fucking good, man. I love this movie. It's just hard to watch because it's dark as shit.
Numero uno, my number one, going to come down from the top.
What's it gonna be?
Let's bring us in some fucking barbarian Terminator tits. McGee. It's gonna be Maggie.
Oh shit, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Maggie?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I appreciate that.
Fuck yeah, dude. And it rhymed too, because you put up tits McGee, and I said, let's go with Maggie. I like it a lot. Maggie muff diving pieces of shit. School for wayward bitches that don't know about girls' youth clubs and they want to let's eat bottles and bologna and fart on each other's faces and on our hairy while listening to Hanson mops who let the dogs out. I'm so gay and my name is Jay. This has been brought to you by That's Okay. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Our new anti-anxiety medication coming to the nearest CVS. That's okay.
It's Maggie.
It's Maggie, y'all. It's Maggie. Yeah, dude. I love this movie. I think it's actually a really good horror movie. It's set in a post-apocalyptic society after a zombie invasion has happened. Arnold in this movie, I think this is the first time really Arnold gets to stretch his acting ability in a way that we've never seen him before. He's very vulnerable. He's a dad. He's looking out for his daughter. His daughter gets infected by the zombie virus, and he wants to take her home and bring her back to his house and care for her. And the horror comes from the fact that he knows that she's going to ultimately become this creature that wants to do nothing more than consume flesh. It's horrific because the setting is horrific. The atmosphere is very horrific. And there are some very gnarly fucking moments in the movie. But it's also a very unique movie as far as a horror movie because it's got heart and it's got feeling and it's got emotion. Dude, he does such a phenomenal job as a caring father. And he does abandon very much so the archetype of what we think of as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like not the commando or the predator guy or Terminator. He's just a dad. He's a fucking dad, dude. And I feel like what really worked for him is he probably was thinking about his own daughters when he did the movie. And I think that worked really well in his favor because you can tell the tenderness and the care that he shows Maggie the entire movie. And like and that's what any dad would do. I mean, you know that your daughter, she's looking at your arm like it's a fucking egg roll. And he's like, no. You don't kill my daughter. You shut up. And then the interactions with the town sheriff and stuff. Dude, this movie is so great because it's got that small town country vibe to it.
Try that in a small town.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason Aldean said, fuck you.
Try turning my daughter into a zombie in a small town.
And then the ending fucking scared me, dude. It's not necessarily the things that happen that are horrific. It's like what you know will happen. I don't know. It's like it leads your mind to like, this will happen. I don't know. But the ending always got me. The ending scared me. And I can't tell you again, you guys got to check out Maggie. Like, I think it's one of the most underrated Arnold performances, period.
I think I slept with Maggie during a Black Dragon concert in Osaka during 75.
Yeah. And that's why you have no dick. She bit it off because she was a zombie.
No, I love Maggie, dude. And I love Maggie specifically because it was so cool to watch Arnold act and people appreciate him. My number one, you've talked about it. It's going to be Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, yeah. I go from 5, you go 2-1. I like the way. Let's go.
I like the way you move. Dude. I love this movie, dude. Yes. Kurt Russell, for one thing, Kurt Russell in a dark, twisted horror movie is like crazy. And not only is Kurt Russell in a dark, twisted horror movie, Kurt Russell in a Western horror film. You got fucking Tombstone Kurt Russell in a messed up horror film about cannibals. Holy shit, that's amazing. And also directed by Craig Zahler, who is 3 for 3 in my opinion. This movie kicked ass. If you guys need movies to watch and like you've seen all these, if you've seen Bone Tomahawk, you got to watch Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Oh, dude, that's so fucking good. Yeah, that's a great one. Oh my god, dude. Yeah,
Vince Vaughn, guys, a killer director. And he also directed, and a bunch of people are mad about this because of the Mel Gibson thing, but he also directed Dragged Across Concrete, which is still a really good movie. No, we watched it. We reviewed it. It's like a 3-hour long.
I said I've seen it.
Mel, you've smoked yourself retarded. It's Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, it's like these goddamn cigarettes getting to me.
He's so fucking good in this, man. And then, like you said before, it's a very slow burn movie. But when they get to the top of the mountain, it is not good. I've been to the top of the mountain, and it is good.
I thought there'd be milk and honey, and there's nothing but blood and death.
No, me don't want in but. No, not at all. Please go away, sir. They get to there, and like when you see what these creatures are doing to people, and the way that they're scalping people and gnawing on their nut sacks, and literally just eating people's dicks. Like
They
actually
really are.
literally
They're
eating
literally-
people's dicks.
Like, hey, listen, bratwurst
It's
takes
so
on a
fucked.
whole different meaning to these people.
It's so
Bratwurst.
fucked.
They're talking about a man's dick with some buns around it.
Hello, listener. Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie? Well, Jay and Mike like scary movies too. You should go and subscribe to their podcast, We Watched a Movie. Because if you don't, I'll gut you like a... Well, I think you get the idea. Enjoy yourselves while you still can.